We are raising the level for insured mortgages from 1 million to 1.5 million. We're expanding 30-year amortizations for insured mortgages.
30-year mortgages and 1.5 million. First-time home buyers, you guys are now privileged to be able to borrow the most amount of money you can get for the longest time possible. Hey YouTube, it's Zach. Deputy Prime Minister Chrystia Freeland just did a conference talking about mortgage reform. The key takeaways from that was 3 things. 1, they're going to allow first-time homebuyers to amortize over 30 years when they buy pre-construction. This is nothing new. Now, they're going to expand that to resale. So first-time homebuyers can buy resale properties and amortize over 30 years. Plus, up until now, you were able to borrow with the lower down payment up to 1 million, but now you'll be able to get 1.5 million. During the conference, Chrystia Freeland said this is a supply side measure.
This is really, at heart, a supply side measure. This is about creating more demand for new builds.
She clarified that it is a supply side measure. I didn't understand it, so if someone can clarify that for me, I'm trying to decode it, because if you allow more people to buy, how is that going to increase the supply somehow? I thought that would just make things more expensive if we don't have more supply. I'm not an economist or anything, but... And the third one, which is a very good, I think it's one of the best points, people who are switching mortgages after your term, let's say you had a 5-year mortgage and you're going to renew it, you can shop around now without worrying about stress tests.
All holders of insured mortgages to switch lenders at renewal without another mortgage stress test.
But now you'll be able to shop around, which means you can get, I don't know, 0.01% better rate. I don't know. If you're enjoying the video so far, make sure to hit the like button. I was told that if we hit 100 likes, Tiff Macklem is going to drop the interest rates on October 23rd. So if not for me, just do it for all the people who have variable rates. It will really help. Looking at everything they talked about, the only thing I can think of is, 1, things will get more expensive. At the end of the day, they did not say they're going to reduce the amount of taxes the government going to charge these new developers, which means building new homes is still going to be expensive. I've made a video on this before. The government makes around 30% on a new pre-construction project, while the builder makes around 10%. I'll put a link to that video after, but things are going to get more expensive anyway. The second thing is, this is not going to increase supply by no means. Like, in fact, pre-construction is pretty much dead at this point. I've met with a few of the builders that we work with, and the conversation was very interesting. I think the pre-construction market is going to shift its focus, and it's going to be different than what it is right now. I'm going to make a video on that next, so make sure you subscribe. Just do it, because you're going to think, who was that guy I was watching? And you're going to start scrolling your history. Just subscribe. It's free. When it comes to creating more supply, first-time homebuyers are not going around buying pre-construction at the moment. If you're familiar with buying pre-construction, you would have to put about 20% down in most cases. If you're a first-time homebuyer and you have the 20%, it doesn't even matter. But if you don't have 20%, it's not likely that you're going out and buying pre-construction. This doesn't even apply to you. That being said, demand in general slowed down for real estate across all sectors. Mainly when it comes to the low-end renter market, there is almost like 100% drop. I used to have listings, basements and so on, where 80 to 100 messages came through different channels looking to rent a place, and those are mainly students, and that almost completely disappeared, which is, I think the government finally woke up, and I think the students also woke up, and they're not coming to Canada. So that portion of the rent completely slowed down very much, which makes it harder for investors to buy and rent out those units, which in turn drops the prices of condos and so on and so forth. The market slowed down so much that there are right now investors who are willing to walk away from their initial deposits to the builder. So they're giving you $150,000 discount, but the prices that they purchased for are already so high that no one is buying anyway, and no one can afford to buy those units. So I'm going to make a video on that soon, the whole student visas, the investors, and everybody who got screwed. So double subscribe so you don't miss out on that video. I have first-time home buyers, and there's ones who don't need this whole thing doesn't apply to them. They have fantastic income. They've saved up so much money that they can put 20+% down on anything that they're looking to buy. So this policy change, reform, does not really affect them. On the other hand, I have other first-time home buyers who work really hard, have enough savings just to put down 5, 10, 15%. And those guys, I promise, are not looking to buy anything close to the 1.5 million. In fact, it's less than $1 million. So I'm just trying to figure out who does this apply to. If can somebody decode this, tell me in the comments. Am I missing something here? Can you guys enlighten me? Go ham in the comment section. The only other thing I can think of is that they're trying to get votes, but I mean, the only people this seems like it applies to are...
My nephew is just turned, he's going to turn 23 soon. His name is Ethan.
And his sister.
My niece, Skylar, just turned 22. And so he said, okay, I'm going to have a house by the time I'm 30. Skylar, who's taking graphic design,
Who's also trying to buy it before he can.
said, I'm going to race you.
Randy, I'm expecting an update from you in 7-8 years. It's like the government is saying, okay, people cannot afford to buy Lamborghinis. So what we're going to do is we're going to allow everybody to borrow money for 30 years to buy Lamborghinis. For the very foreseeable future, it's going to benefit a couple of people who currently have money saved up. But by the time everybody catches up, everything's going to be the new price. The next 3 to 6 months for first-time home buyers and even tenants, there's so much more inventory right now on the market when it comes to rental properties or things to buy, especially at that entry-level condos, 1-2 bedrooms. You guys are going to have a fantastic time shopping and buying. Might be a good time to make some sick moves. This is the video I mentioned at the beginning about taxes and builders. So if you want to watch